How's it going, everyone? Beautiful day, getting a little bit of overcast, but still quite warm. So going to continue doing my walks and sharing my thoughts for the day. And today is something that a lot of people struggle with, and it's setting goals and achieving them, and not necessarily because they don't have the ability to do it. It's more the daunting task of how much it actually takes in order to accomplish a goal sometimes, and seeing it as almost an Are we back? Oh, okay. So I was talking about a common saying that is out there, that how do you eat an elephant? This was a joke back in the day, but the answer is one bite at a time. So if you're looking at a goal as an elephant, right? Something that is just massive, something that you couldn't imagine trying to actually ingest that much material that's actually larger than you are. And so having this mindset where you're looking at a goal of building a business, for example. This is something that I deal with every day, so it's a very easy topic for me to touch on. And people look at all of the things that go into building a business, and it really overwhelms them, first of all, and kind of freezes a lot of people from even doing anything. But secondly, it also disorganizes a lot of people in not allowing them to focus on the task at hand to be able to accomplish what they need to do in order to reach the end goal. So what I want to recommend today is know what you want to achieve and know where you want to go as a direction. But know that in that process, how you get there is not necessarily determined by you. So if you can simply know where you want to end up and start to take action in that direction, in my world, the universe, the secret, the law of attraction, whatever you want to call it, allows for people, circumstances, and events to be rearranged in order for that goal to happen, as long as that's your focus. So when you take an action, even if that's not the perfect action, that action triggers a sequence of events that is undetermined by you that will lead you again towards where you want to go. So if all you focus on is the next small thing that you have to do, the next little task that is going to take you in that direction, then that's easier to see yourself as being able to do. Most of the time, people try to paint the entire picture themselves, where they have the end goal and they have every single step mapped out in their head of, I'm going to do this and it's going to happen this way, and we're going to go this way, and we're going to do this, and I'm going to talk to these people, and XYZ lines up, and we reach the goal. And it doesn't work that way. If you've spent any amount of time in life, you're going to realize that you get curveballs. You get things that you can't expect. And so you have to be able to adjust by simply focusing on, oh, well, what is the next thing that I got to do? Oh, that didn't work. Well, what is the next thing that we have to do to go this way? So being able to focus on short-term goals and small things to accomplish in an organized fashion is the easiest way for you to accomplish big goals. You have to know where you want to go. You have to have that correct direction. You can't hit a target you can't see. But how you hit that target is not necessarily your part. You simply focus on where you want to go and taking the next step, taking that action, figuring out, is this the right direction? Oh, well, I'm not really feeling that that's going to help me. Let's move this way. People have a very intuitive nature. We can tell if we're doing something good or something bad, and if it's going to benefit us or not fairly quickly. We have the ability to read between the lines and see, is this task, is this connection, is this event, is this whatever going to lead me in the direction that I want to go? If that's a yes, take that action, even if it's uncomfortable and you can't necessarily see how that's directly going to connect you to the end point. As long as you feel that what you're doing as a focus and a direction is going to push you towards that end result, then you will get there, okay? So Mike Caldwell just joined us. I'm glad you're here, man. I was actually just about to mention you. So I got a book from a great guy here named Mike Caldwell. If you guys want to check it out, it's called Veer, V-E-A-R. And throughout this book, Mike is really sharing his personal story about he had the vision of being able to see where he wanted to end up. And that really is the first step. You have to know where you want to go. And so once you have that point of reference to aim for, the rest of the stuff is kind of determined by you. And the E is energy. This is, the emotion and the feelings that you're putting in towards, moving towards that goal. And A and R have their own purposes, but the point is once you have that direction, when you have a goal like Mike was facing, he bought a very, very large property off the grid, basically abandoned, run down, half put together in the middle of winter in Canada. And so insurmountable odds had to be overcome throughout this story that he tells about how he literally had to just focus on what was my next step, not what was the next room I need to accomplish, like what is the next board that I have to go pull nails out of. That short-term focus is sometimes what it takes for you to block out all of the negative stuff that can freeze you in your tracks and feeling like, man, I'm just never going to get there. This thing is huge. This is an elephant. I'm not even hungry. There's no way I can even eat this one bite at a time. But if you don't think about all that and you simply walk up and take that next bite and you start pulling nails out of that next board, eventually the next board's going to come your way and you're going to have another board done and another board. And by the end of the day, yeah, you haven't finished that entire room or whatever the goal is, but you have taken steps that are leading you in the direction of where you need to go to get to your ultimate point. And for Mike, this has turned into what he calls the arc. So if you can imagine a completely log cabin style home, 6,000 square feet, out in the middle of nowhere, just gorgeous place, hand built, literally every step-by-step piece done by him. He had help along the way, and there were people that gave him direction and, financial help and whatever he needed along the way. But there's no possible way in any scenario that Mike could have written the story that he shared with me when he started. You can't make this kind of stuff up. So you have to realize that taking that next step is the only thing that you can control. You don't get to control the whole process and the entire strategy and all of the ways that thing comes together in order for you to reach that goal. That's not your part. All you focus on is that next board you got to pull nails out of, that next person you got to go talk to and expose your business to, or whatever your situation is. You have to take action, and you have to know that the things that you're doing are ultimately going to get you there, regardless of how you get there. So in that, I want you guys to, first of all, go out and buy Mike's book. Great book. Secondly, this is, a daily thing. You have to approach each situation with a positive mindset, knowing that the steps that you're taking are taking you towards a goal. So if that's not part of your daily routine, first of all, start a daily routine for yourself. You need to have an organization and figure out, what do you want to do in life? What are you passionate about? What do you want to accomplish? What kind of story do you want to be able to tell at the end of the day that is your legacy? Do you want to say, I sat down in a chair every single day and I typed for 8 hours a day, and at the end of the day, I was able to have a social security and blah, blah, blah. Like, if that's your story, I probably wouldn't read it. I read Mike's story, and that's fascinating. This guy went all over the country, made choices based on what he wanted, not what made sense. And a lot of times that's what you have to do. You have to go with your feeling more than your mind. If it feels right to you and this is going to put you where you want to go, that's what you need to do. You don't want to consider, oh, well, maybe this could happen, or I don't know if that would happen, or I'm not sure if this is going to work out for me, or whatever. If it's just a scary thing, you better do that, because that's going to add to your life story. That's going to add to your legacy that you're going to write down and share with other people that is cool enough for them to want to share with somebody else. That's the kind of story you want to write, but you can only do that by taking action one step at a time to get you to that next step, all right? So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Mike, thank you for your book. Hopefully you're able to see some of this, man, and I'll see you guys next time.